Hello, this is Anna from Madame So. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick cozy for a French press, but what I really want to show you is how to do some free motion quilting on a small piece. I wouldn't dare attempt this on a large full-size quilt, but I think we can get good results on a little thing. You don't need a whole lot of stuff. You need some scrap, some medium loft batting, some 3/8 of an inch bias tape, and you can make this if you have Madame So's bias tape kit. And then if you have the 32 presser foot set, it comes with two different free motion quilting feet. One is spring loaded and the other one is all metal, and it just relies on the needle bar going up and down for movement. The real difference, and I think the one that will determine which one you prefer, is that the metal one has a metal toe with a hole in it, and the plastic one is a clear plastic. So it depends on what helps you focus on your stitches and what makes it easy for you to know what you're doing on the fabric. Okay, so I've gone ahead and started a few things. I cut all layers of my sandwich, of my quilting sandwich, the backing, the batting, and the top, and I have spray basted them together, which is something I never do, but I think for these, it really is the easiest thing to keep your layers together. If you put pins in them, as you are free motion, you're dealing with the free motion, and you have to deal with stopping and starting to remove the pins. So, it's not very practical. You could just hand baste it with thread, but as you're going to be free motion quilting, you're going to have a lot of stitches that are going to be catching those basting threads. So it's a lot of work to pull them out. Some of them are going to be split in half. So, you can't do it, but I really think that spray basting is the easiest way to go for this project. And then I've made the little tab, which is also a quilt sandwich, but this one is a little different because I've put my quilt top and my bottom layer wrong sides together, and then I have my batting on the bottom, and I've just sewn 3 sides all around, and I have inserted, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I have inserted a loop there on this seam. Okay, and this is going to be the tab that closes the cozy. All right, so let's get started with that free motion quilting. Let's finish the construction of these. So as you can see here, I've trimmed my batting about 3/8 of an inch, and I have folded in my seam allowances, and the backing is hugging the batting. Okay, and now I'm just going to I made my flap for the button very long on purpose, but I want to see how it's going to work. So let's bring this over, and I think let's see where I have more room for trimming on the top here. Okay, so then I'm aligning the bottom with the bottom of the pot, and I'm just gonna, before I turn it over, I am going to bring this here. Actually, let me turn it over just to see how far that loop goes, the loop for the button. And as usual, I'm gonna go get my trusty chopstick. This guy is useful for everything. Every sewing room needs one. So push my corners out. And I will give this a press, but first let's see where it needs to go. And how far I want it. Okay, so I'm gonna have the button there, this here. So I'm gonna trim it right here. I'm gonna do that right away before I lose my place. So there, I'm aligning my lines on my ruler. There you go. And now I can pin it in place. And just I'm gonna stitch a whole line and it will catch the flap and close that seam. And there. So I'm gonna go over to the sewing machine and do that. This is just a simple 1/4 inch seam, or maybe slightly wider if you want. There it is. And here it is. Pretty easy. And now we can get ready to quilt. Let me show you how to put these feet on. So you need to lose the foot you're using, and now I've already loosened my screw a little bit. Take the presser foot shank off, and now let's start with this one. So you're going to slide it under the screw and just pull it up and double check, but it's almost impossible to get that bar under the needle bar, so just make sure that it's over and tighten it. Okay, next thing you need to do is to lower your presser feet. Okay, and on my machine you'll have to check on your manual, but on my machine it's a lever down here. See, and now they're down. Because when the feet are up, they're pushing your fabric from the front to the back. And when you're doing free motion quilting, you are in control of moving the fabric whichever way you want. Okay, next thing, I have my stitch length. It's a straight stitch, and I have it set to the lowest possible setting because I'm in charge of the stitch length. It depends on how fast I move the fabric. That's how big my stitches are going to be. Also, I have my tension really high. The maximum is a 9, and I have it all the way up to an 8 because otherwise, this is what's going to happen. Let me show you here. See? You get those tension eyelashes on the wrong side. Okay, and let me just show you how to install the other one and we'll get rolling. This one you have to put these right around your screw. There you go. So you hug the needle bar or the presser foot bar. Tighten it up. Now you do need to use either the screwdriver or the tool that came with your machine. As you can see, I didn't make any drawings here. I don't have any lines. This is real free motion quilting where I'm just going to go wherever I want. That's what this is about. I find it's easier than trying to follow a curvy line. It's just too much to think about. So I just have a loose plan. I think I'm just gonna make some waves all the way to the end of the piece, then come back through the middle, and then once more on the... And if I go over and it ends up being 2 sections, that's fine. It's my work, so I do what I want. Okay. So we're gonna start lower the presser foot. You do have to bring it down, even though, see, you can still move the fabric pretty loosely. Now we're gonna hold the thread here, bring the needle down and back up, and let's pull there. You want to pull the lower thread up, and you want to have them both in there. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, bring the foot down. And now we're ready to start. Just hold those to the back. Okay, so before we start, I've heard this described as sort of dancing with your machine, and I think that's a pretty accurate description. You don't want to go faster than the machine, and you don't want to go slower. So I have my speed. My machine allows me to control the maximum speed. So even if I'm stepping down on the pedal, it's not going to go too fast. I have it set to a medium. If you go very slow, it becomes impossible to move the fabric. You can't get any stitches. If you go too fast, it's very easy to move the fabric, but it's very hard to have any sort of controlled movement. So I find a medium speed works with me and for me, and then I'll push harder or lighter on the pedal depending on what I want. We're going to actually start with just a few stitches in place. And now we're going to start moving. And I'm just moving. I'm going to start moving a little faster. And I'm moving the fabric. There is nothing to move the fabric along. There are no feet. So I'm moving my fabric around, making my drawing. And now I'm going to come down here and I'm actually going to make a loop there. Up and down. And I think I want another loop here. So my stitches are pretty big. Let's see if I can adjust my speed a little better to my machine. And if you're a beginner like me, I think it's easier to start with fabric like this that has some sort of a print on it. Okay, and now I'm gonna exit this way. And we're all done. Let's see what happened. So there it is. And let's look at the other side. Make sure we don't have any eyelashes. Ah, pretty nice. I think mission accomplished. And it actually looks kind of nice on this side. You can really see the stitching. All right, so before we bind, since we're not going to bind the whole thing, I am going to, so you can see I've cut it, made a straight cut here. I'm going to open my binding and just fold it in and try not to burn myself while I do that. And now I'm just going to fold it back in its original position. And press it. And then I can just start using that edge. There we go. So now I'm just going to pin it right at the edge. And I'm just going to use one pin because, as I've said many times, I only use my binding foot, which is just the best of the best. So I just need to secure the beginning. Now I'm gonna attach my foot here, and it's here in my presser foot set. So I'm going to make, oh, wrong side. I'm gonna make some room for these. And now, just slide it in, open it up so that it goes around. Okay, let's see if I can get it in the right groove. There we go. Sandwich this in, and I'm just gonna move it all the way to the back. And once I get it in the machine, I'll move it further back. But for now, I want this to be secure. Now I'm just going to adjust this so it's the right width. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to bind these. I'm going to put this in the machine. And there is a tutorial on the blog if you want to know how to do this. And that will be it. Then I'll show you the finished work. Here it is. All finished. The binding is all done. And I've marked here where my button is going to go. Right there. So I'm going to go do that. I found some matching thread. And that is really the last thing we need to do. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. And if you try either making the cozy or trying some free motion quilting, we would love to see your work. Tag us at Madame Sew on Instagram. And also follow us on YouTube. We'll have plenty of tutorials for you.